how do you follow up without being annoying?
Uh,
Just don't be annoying. I mean, just
don't follow up.
don't.
There's a couple
Yeah, don't
choices
follow up.
there.
There you
Eh,
go.
Yeah, and okay. So you said how to follow up, right? How do you
Hmm.
follow up without being annoying? Follow up without being annoying.
Right.
I know you can't read that, but you know what it means. So so we have two things: one follow up and one being annoying. One of the things that I would call following up, I would call it chasing. And I would say, let's look at how not to chase. Let's say you're trying to get an account. I want to do my very best. I want to set this up so that it's a one call close. How can I set it up so it's a one call close almost all the time, and I don't have to chase. I don't feel obligated to chase. So that means so no chasing. So how would I do that? If it's a one call close, what I want to do is I want people to call me. People call me. So when they call me, I want them to know what I do. I want them to be recommended by somebody that they trust. So somebody recommended them that they trust. They call me and they go, "Hey, I heard that you do this." So they've got an interest in what I have to sell. And so now if I do my work right, then I'll get them today. And the way I do my work right is do the sales process right, the right discovery. I ask them time frame. There's
Mhm.
certain things that we do uh, in our sales process that most everybody else in the world doesn't do. And we don't do the classic four: rapport and relationship, presentation, overcoming objections, and close. We do a lot of discovery, and it's a conversation. We know the questions we want to ask, and that opens up exactly what the caller, the person who's calling in, is looking for. And when I know that, I can narrow that. I can find what they want. I can get them sold or not about 75% of the time on that first call. So, which nobody sells things 75% of the first call except us because we craft it so we can. It's not like we do things like everybody else and we magically get 75% of first call closes. No, we do it differently so that we can. We set it up. We set it up to get fat pitches. That's what we go, look, set it up so you get fat pitches, so they're easy to hit out of the park.
Mhm.
Most people don't do that, and so they're the marketing gets them not fat pitches. They don't know you. They're looking at 8 other companies. They don't. There's no trust. You haven't established that yet. So the sales process takes a long time, and you have to follow up. Uh,
Right.
and then you end up being annoying because of how you follow up. But since we don't do much follow up at all, and we try to be as least annoying as possible on the first call. So we just don't do much follow up. We don't chase. Now, the time we do follow up is like if we're doing an outbound call, like just sending out information to somebody, go, hey, this is what we do, and we agree that this would be a benefit to the recipient. To go, hey, you know what, just send you some information out. I'll follow up with you next week. And then so next week you follow up and go, hey, just touch base. You have a little conversation, and away you go. That's how we do it. And so it's totally different. So you end up not being annoying because you're not chasing, which was what we call, what most people call following up. They're following up because they didn't get the sale. And when they follow up, Chuck, how do they screw it up? When you follow up, what's the biggest mistake that you see when people are following up? That is, what do you see?
I think the biggest thing is they don't call with anything new. They just call
Right.
and they try to rehash the. And one reason why we never did a whole lot of follow up is because we built the machine big enough where you have so much stuff coming in all the time that you just time doesn't allow it, right? Like, like, hey, dude, we had our time together. I got 10 more
Right.
people. You got to follow up with me. I'm sorry. You do your best to close it on the spot. But you got 10 more people, and that's just the idea of it, is right. Create something that's so big that there is no time to follow up. But let's say you do have to follow up, right? One, before the follow-up happens, your conversation with them, I think most people aren't very clear in their communication. Like I always tell people at the end of every conversation you're having with a prospect or whomever, you need a clear, defined course of action, right? And I think John kind of touched base on it like, hey, we're going to send you this information. I'll follow up with you on Thursday. Hey, what works better? Should I just this time, or should I catch you in the afternoon? Oh, call me Thursday about 3:00. And then you go, okay, see, now I got commitment, right? And most people leave it too loose. They
Yeah.
don't have commitment. So if you build really good rapport, you're doing your best to close it on the spot, and you want to follow up with them, at the end of that conversation, you need to have a clear, defined objective of what's going to happen when we're going to talk next time. It doesn't win every
Yeah.
time. Nothing does. But it sure makes your life a lot easier. And they do answer the phone because they've agreed to it and they like you, so it's easier to follow up. But try to come up with something new. Don't go, hey, I just wanted to know what you were thinking. I always like to lead in and go, hey, how's it going? Great. Talk about some personal things that you kind of learned from them on the first call. And then I go, you know what? I was thinking that in addition to whatever the conversation was about, I thought this would be really beneficial because you ever have a conversation and then like you think about it later and you go, man, I missed a couple golden opportunities.
Yeah.
Like try a
Yep.
little reflection once in a while and go, oh man, there's another toehold there that I'm going to bring back into the follow-up with something new. So, you can't just follow them and go, hey, what'd you think? That's like basically following up with a yes or no question.
Or they say, hey, just following up on our last conversation. Okay. Well, you didn't sell me, you didn't make the sale in the last conversation. So
Right.
you missed something and now you're not doing anything new. You're calling back, reminding them that you didn't answer, you didn't hit the bullseye last time is what you're
Right.
saying. Hey, following
Right.
up on our conversation. And what do you think? Like you've had this happen to you, right?
Right.
So
Right.
what are you thinking when somebody follows up? Hey, following up on a conversation last week. Yeah. Well, you didn't do the sales. You probably didn't do discovery, right? You presented,
Mhm.
which we talk to people, please don't do. Have a conversation that leads somewhere, which gives them a conversation. It's a two-way street. Hey, how about this? How about that? What are you thinking here? What are you thinking there? You ask the questions, they fill in with all the information, and it's your job to then use that to get to the point where okay, well, what works better for you, prospect, A or B?
Right.
And if they have to then, I'm not sure because of this, you nail down what, and they go, I just can't do that now because whatever,
Right.
next week, if it's something like that, hey, then I get it. Like I'm probably going to go with A, but I have to wait until I get the SBA loan on Tuesday. And if I do, then I can move forward. Otherwise I can't. Got it. So then, should we touch base on Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah. Like Chuck was saying, get a commitment. And I know a couple. I know supposedly a really good attorney and a really good accountant, both of whom I use a lot less today, because one of the reasons is their communication. Like, oh hey, just call me tomorrow on this. When?
Right.
Because when they say, oh, just call me tomorrow on this, or hey, let's touch base next week, you're just setting one or the other of you up to play a vicious game of phone tag. It's a waste of time, which the older you get, the more valuable that asset is. So just when? Oh, on Wednesday. I bet, what happens when you call him on Wednesday? Oh, he's in a meeting. Well, of course he is. He should be. He should be working, not waiting for my call all day. So you prevent all that by, hey, what's better, Wednesday or Thursday? Oh, Wednesday, do Wednesday. What's better, morning or afternoon? Definitely afternoon. Morning, I've got, depositions. What's better, like 1:30 or 3:30? Oh, let's do 3:30. Got it. So I'll call you Wednesday at 3:30. Got it. Good. Now we know. And so you still, like Chuck said, it's not going to work all the time because I'm going to call Wednesday at 3:30 and something unexpected came up or he's already on a call. That happens. But you're a whole lot more likely to get him then than sometime next week or, hey, call me tomorrow. That stuff doesn't work. And it just baffles me and blows me away every time. Every time you still get those. You still get those from people who are supposedly professional. Or if you leave a message, if you're calling somebody and leaving a message for them, and You give them sometimes. You just don't you do the same thing that you don't want them to do to you. So if you're calling somebody, leave a message and go, hey, you know what? If you could give me a jingle, that'd be great. I'm open Wednesday at 1:30 or Thursday at 10:30. Either one is fine. Wednesday at this, Thursday at that, whichever works for you. Just give me a jingle. I'm
or
here
give them a
for you.
window. Like, hey, call me
Give
between
them,
1
yeah,
and
give
3.
them something. Give them something. Give them something.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, because then if you don't, then they're going to leave a voicemail for you. They're not going to tell you when to call, and then that do something better for yourself and others by
Right.
narrowing it down.
How do you handle it when a prospect says, send me some information?
If you're doing the sales process right, you've uncovered all these needs, right? You've uncovered maybe some shortcomings in their existing, whatever they're doing existing, or whatever they need to implement inside their deal, and you problem solve through it. If you're seeking agreement on key issues throughout the whole sales process, they really don't need information. And in our world, the best information that I can provide you is going through the paperwork with you, right? Because really the paperwork is what encompasses everything that has to do with your merchant account. If they're not willing to go through the paperwork, what this typically means is they're not sold yet. They have some unanswered questions out there. My job is to figure out what those unanswered questions are, figure them out and answer them. Because once I answer them, we're dancing, right? So that's a brush off. It's like when you walk into a retail store, have you ever had a salesperson go, can I help you? And you go, no, I'm just looking. Even though you know you're looking for something in particular, and a shitty salesperson is going to go, oh, okay, well, if you need anything, let me know. A great salesperson like me is going to, I'm just kidding. A great salesperson is going to go, oh, okay, well, let me ask you, what are you looking for? And you know what? By the time you do that, I bet if you did a study and you went to a retail location, and everybody that said, I'm just looking, if you actually had a follow-up question, imagine this, a follow-up question, and it is, well, oh, okay, so what exactly are you looking for? I bet a high percentage of them would go, well, I'm looking for some new, whatever. I'm looking for some new ski pants, or I'm looking for a new winter coat. Oh, okay, well, great. Then you can start asking clarifying questions, right? Like,
So you wouldn't say, oh, hey, we've got 5% off of all the stuff that has nothing to do with you. Hey,
no.
We've got hoodies 3 for $5. To go,
right.
I wouldn't buy a hoodie for $1. You
no.
know how to wear,
Yeah, you drill down, right? You go, is
do
this
I look
casual
like I wear
wear?
hoodies?
Is it sportswear? What do you look at? And then you start narrowing it down and go, okay, because I think, and people, I think most people don't even realize this is what they want. But I know a comment that John said earlier is time is your most valuable asset, right? Time is the only thing you can spend and never get back. You can spend millions of dollars, but you can get that back. You can't spend time and get it back, right? So everybody at some level would love to make their lives easier and save their time to do things that are more fun. So if you can get right to the crux of it, oh, well, what kind of coat are you looking for? Are you looking for something dressy? Are you looking for something casual or something for sportswear? And then if I can take you to that section and save you 20 minutes of fumble effing around, you're going to go, man, that was so simple.